And a good Thursday, everybody. Welcome in Chase and Big Joe, 102.5. The game, we're live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Bar Lines. He's Big Joe Dewitt. I'm Chase McCabe. Dr. Craig Nick Frazier back behind the glass at the studio. Joe, what's up?
Just another beautiful day at our favorite place, Bar Lines, here at the Omni Nashville Hotel. It's going to be a fun day, fun weekend ahead. And the weather is simply It's what they call, Chase, one of those Chamber of Commerce days for the weather. And now my joyful pleasure around Nashville is spotting Waymos, man.
Yeah, me too.
There was one in Donaldson just wandering around. I'm like, that thing's looking to kill me. So I shut my door and locked the door. I was like, get away from me. But they're everywhere.
I kid you not. I'm leaving the station one day, getting on at Briley Parkway.
Okay.
And I see one getting off of Briley Parkway, but it had a driver, and he had like a vest on, so like I guess he was programming it.
Oh.
And he was hitting the steering wheel, like I guess it wasn't doing what he had. I mean, he looked pissed.
I didn't know that. I didn't know they had. I just thought they like programmed it at a factory, dropped them off, and said,
I don't know. I mean, I guess he was doing something with it, but no, I'm with you because they're all over downtown in East Nashville and around here, and it's like, you know, it's cool,
right?
But at the same time, I'm like, this is how these are the robots that are going to overthrow us.
This is the one that drives into my house and everything else. I saw it.
Like one day you're going to be walking down Broadway, and all of a sudden you're going to see one just chasing you.
There's a commercial. Luke Bryan does a commercial for Waymo, and he's like, "This thing is so easy." He goes, "Look what I'm doing now," and he's riding around. And
why does he sound like Goofy from the?
He sounds
Mickey
like
Mouse?
He's Gomer Pyle. That's what he looks like. Sounds like, and I'm just thinking, like, does he? I mean, that's one of those things. Like, we're going to pay you a lot of money. Don't ask questions. Read the script and leave. And it's just kind of funny watching him get in that car and like, oh, it gets me right to where I'm going. And like all these reports are, man, my favorite's the one that goes down the one-way street the wrong way, and the one that was stuck at the red light through 11 cycles.
Oh,
look, you don't go through a green light on 2 seconds. I'm honking at you.
Yeah.
If you're going to sit through 11 cycles, I'm ramming you and get you out of here.
You know what'd be funny is, like, you know, you're doing that to the Waymo that doesn't have a driver, and all of a sudden it's like a transformer, and it just transforms into something and like comes around and walks up to your window and wants to fight you.
So now that we've talked about it, I'm gonna go home tonight and look out in my yard. There's gonna be 14 Waymos just sitting there. It's like, yeah, we heard you on the radio, fat boy. We got you now. We're gonna take you down. I was like, no, we're not doing this.
You want to run your mouth some more? Big Joe, if that is your real name.
Right. Oh gosh.
So the Titans, I guess they waived some players today because they're making room for the undrafted guys.
Did you know a single guy? I did not know a single guy.
Let me look at the list again. By the way, I love the picture of the helmet.
Yeah, it's great. I like that.
Nice.
I dig it, man.
Yeah. Ollie Gay, yeah, I've heard of him. That's it.
Yeah. I didn't even do my usual, hey, did they wave back? They didn't deserve that respect. But
no.
So 6 left down, and then they have the camp this weekend at the rookie minicamp. And is veterans next week?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. So they're getting there with the off-season program and get some of the draft picks in here and the undrafted guys, and it'll be fun to kind of see how they all work out. I didn't have a chance to comment, so I'll just do it quickly. Chad Brinker stepping down as the Tennessee president or the Titans president of football operations. And my reaction when I heard that news on, I guess it was Tuesday night, was, what?
Right.
Oh, my goodness. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I think I even said this when they did this whole reshuffle, you know, about at the end of the season, I guess it was, and they were like, hey, we're going to look like a real football team now and have a general manager that does the general manager things and, you know, basically separate the positions and all of that. I was like, yeah, Chad Brinker will be gone after the draft.
Yeah.
Because it reminded me, and I was talking to George this morning, Plaster, and I when I brought this up, he was like, oh yeah, that does make sense. Remember when Mike Reinfeldt was reassigned from being general manager and was given, I think, a similar title.
Right.
And Rustin Webster was brought in GM. It was like 6 months later he was gone.
Is that 2012, 2013, right
something
there?
like that.
Yeah.
So I am not all that surprised. by this. The few times I met him, very nice guy, but it just that whole thing never made sense.
Well, it's the old Tuesday night news dump, right?
Yeah.
7 o'clock. You text me,
yeah.
it's like Brinker's out. I'm like, what do you text me at Tuesday? It's about to fall asleep. And I'm like, what? And so it made sense. It didn't make sense at the timing.
Well, because notice after, like, there was like one press conference after they announced like the change that he was a part of, and then you didn't see him again.
No.
And the fact that you had Dave Ziegler doing the post-draft press conference, I'm like, okay, that should have been a telltale right there. But so he's gone, and good for him. Life goes on.
Well, that's the thing. Nick and I talked about yesterday, and after the first segment, I looked at Nick and I was like, I'm done with this story.
Yeah.
I'm done. I mean, he's gone. It's done. It closes a bad chapter for the Titans with all the Rand and then Robinson leaving and Vrabel here and Callahan coming and Callahan getting fired and And I was like, all right, I'm done with the story because it's such a non-factor now. Good. And he's gone, and it sounds good. And I think it all got to go someplace, right? Report one guy. It's Borgonzi. You can delegate out. You're good with all that stuff that goes on. That's fine. But you don't need other people weighing in on that. And then he can go to Amy and they can figure it out. But, if you director of football operations, and we were laughing like, if the key card doesn't work, is that Brinker's fault?
Right.
I don't know.
Well, it leads me to a couple of things. One, it does feel like and I've said this, but it's like I'm allowing myself to go, this is actually, they're doing things right.
Yeah.
I'm kind of enjoying this.
Right.
And, there's a little piece of me that's always going to be ready for them to mess something up, but I'm hoping that doesn't happen, that they're going in the right direction. And, Amy's happy and she's just chilling and, looking at renderings of her suite at the new stadium and, just not worrying about stuff. So it does feel like things are, just normal.
It does. And it hasn't been that way in a long time. So they're trending in the right way. They're trending in the right way. Now you got to win games. Now it's about winning games in September and seeing what you could do. And imagine that last season in Nissan Stadium, which we'll talk about more about that just to come up just a little bit, could be electric and win games.
Yep.
And get fired up and then have that little, excitement, momentum bouncing into the new stadium. But again, it's all about winning games. If you go 2-15, it means nothing.
Is the question of the day based on something we talked about before the show?
It is not.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and do that, and then I'll get into that.
What do you want? The question of the day?
Yeah.
All right. Question of the day is one that I think is very funny that I thought about the other night, and then somebody had mentioned something about on these lines, and I was like, all right, this is good. Chaser, what is the most expensive thing you've ever touched?
Not owned.
Nope. I don't know. Most expensive thing you've ever touched. And it cannot be your house. And it probably needs to belong to somebody else. What's the most expensive thing you've ever touched?
I think it would probably be, and I don't remember the year, but back in high school when I was friends with a certain country music star's daughter, he had a 1960 the Shelby GT 500, like an actual first year signed by Carroll Shelby. No telling how much that car was worth.
And you just touched it.
I sat in it.
You sat in it.
Yeah, you let me sit in it.
He said, "Come on, big boy."
Yeah,
it was sitting.
It was a badass car.
So yeah, that's our question. What's the most expensive thing you've ever touched? Dr. Crane, what's the most expensive thing you've ever touched?
Probably getting to wear all 3 of the Super Bowl rings of the Kansas City Chiefs. It was pretty crazy. Each of those are probably worth roughly like what, 50 to 60,000.
Wait a minute, how did you do that?
I have a family friend.
Yeah,
I know.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Were those rings bigger than you?
Yeah, they were bigger than probably everybody's average hand. I mean, it was crazy how big they were.
I asked him why.
What would one of those be worth? With all the diamonds and
maybe 50. I don't know. But you got to give. There's a lot of people get those Super Bowl rings. Scouts, front office, coaching staff.
Equipment team.
equipment team. I mean, does like the ticket sales people get it? You're part of the team. Hell, Sean Henry got his name on the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
I don't think he scored a goal.
It's funny with the Stanley Cup of who qualifies to get their name on the cup and who doesn't. Like Sean as a front office guy gets it, but then like a player, I think I'm right on this, correct me if I'm wrong, but a player that's on the team a majority of the year that's traded, but so doesn't finish the year with the team doesn't.
So if a guy gets traded at the trading deadline,
Then they do.
Gosh, it makes the team. So
Yeah.
Mine is the most expensive thing I ever touched was my dog that passed away last year. That thing cost some money. I miss that dog every single second of every day.
Yes, you do.
But yeah, that was the doggies when they get up there are expensive. That's the most expensive thing I ever touched.
615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. And our question of the day is presented by Aries Tactical. Your safety, your skill, your Aries Tactical. First-time shooters shoot for free. Just tell them that I, Chase McCabe, sent you, and check them out at ariestactical.com. We will take your answers for the question of the day. Dr. Locke, Bob, hang with us. We'll get your calls coming up next. But also, the city of Nashville and the state of Tennessee changed forever 30 years ago today.
Yes, sir.
We will tell you what. Coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, live from the Omni, 102.5 The Game.
All right, welcome back to the Chase and Big Joe Show live at the Omni National Hotel downtown at Bar Lions. Our question today brought to you by Aries Tactical. What's the most expensive thing you've ever touched? And I pray on our text line you guys keep it PG, because yesterday with the Kentucky Derby names that we asked you guys to call in and text in, about half of those we couldn't read anywhere. So if you could do that, keep it PG on that. Before we get to the phones real quick, 2513 says, the most expensive thing I've ever touched was my daughter's teenage hair after paying for it to get it done. Hear you on that, buddy. I understand that one all the way. All right, let's go to the phone. Bob on our phone line. Bob, what is the most expensive thing you have ever touched? Bob. Is Bob gone? Folks, Bob got raptured. Have a good day in heaven, Bob. Let's go to Chris in Franklin. Chris, what's the most expensive thing you've ever touched?
Hey, guys. Yeah, I'm here.
What's up, buddy?
Down at the Lamborghini dealership in Franklin, they do this Bulls and Bagels the first Saturday of every month. And a year or so ago, they had a Bugatti, $1.2 million automobile my son and I got to sit in. And I wouldn't drive that around the streets of Nashville for anything, but that's just me.
$1.2 million?
$1 million car.
How did the car get to Frank? I mean, don't say he drove, but I mean, how was it transported? Because you're right, I'm not driving. I'd barely drive a Yugo in this town. I wouldn't drive a Bugatti around.
I mean, being a local, I got to say my best guess is somebody from California brought it over, right?
Wow, somebody sent a picture the other day, Chris, of Steven Tyler from Aerosmith driving a Bugatti in Berry Hill. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but it looked like him.
Yeah, 1.2 mil on that price tag. So
good Lord. All right, thanks for calling, Bubba. Appreciate you.
Have a great day.
All right, that's it. Our question today, the most expensive thing you've ever touched. My goodness, some of these questions texts that are coming are good.
Yeah, I bet some of them are not PG.
9355, hands down, my wife has been the most expensive. 02225 says my wife. We get all that, but the question is, what's the most expensive thing you have ever touched? So a Bugatti for $1.2 million.
Good Lord.
I get it if you got all that money, you want to drive that around, but it's just, God, don't hate me, but it's still just a car, right?
Yeah.
I guess so. That's what it is, man. So that's it. So keep them flying in today with the most expensive thing you have ever touched.
So
now,
we were talking about this before the show. You said like 30 years ago today, something that changed Nashville and changed Tennessee forever happened.
Yep. The NFL approved the move of the Houston Oilers to Nashville by a vote of 23-6. It said it barely made the vote,
because they got to get like a certain percentage, right?
I think it's 75%.
Yeah, something like that.
But the Raiders abstained. The Oilers obviously couldn't vote, so 23-6. I guess that's more than 75%. And the vote was passed, and the Titans were allowed to come, or the Oilers were allowed to come to Nashville. Now they're supposed to play the next 2 seasons in Houston, but the carpet was terrible, the turf was terrible, and Bud said, all right, we're going to move to Nashville, play 1 season in Memphis, and then the other season at Vanderbilt. Originally, it's supposed to be 97 at the Astrodome, 98
at
Vanderbilt if the stadium wasn't built. The stadium wasn't built and ready until 99, and so they moved here. So this is it won't go noticed big time, but I think it's a big day in the history of Nashville because it changed so much. I mean, we're sitting in a hotel that probably might have been here, but who knows? And all these hotels, everything downtown Nashville.
The arena had been built.
Yep.
The arena opened. The arena is 30 years old. So the arena opened in 1996.
Yep.
And then you get the Titan or the Oilers, moving here. So it all happened around the same time. The Predators don't play their first season until 98, 99. But I guess so. Today would be the day that the NFL came to Nashville.
It approved. I mean, the move was approved
because the city had already approved it.
Yep.
At that point.
Yeah. The year previous with the NFL yes vote in 95, and then the NFL approved it in this day 30 years ago, and then so everything was put in motion to come here. Now we're getting ready to move into Now they're getting ready to
You helping move?
I am.
You going to move boxes?
I'm going to.
Amy, we're available. Just let us know. He's got a truck.
And then Nissan Stadium tweets out today that 26 years ago today, the first concert ever held at Nissan Stadium, George Strait.
Yep.
Was
that is
there.
true.
By the way, did you see what he did in Lubbock, Texas this week?
I did not.
130,000 people over a show.
And that's like, how old is he now?
70. I'll tell you right now, he's 73.
Good stuff.
Yep. I told you we snuck into his 40th birthday party at Fountain Square and weren't allowed and walked around and saw Troy Aikman a long time ago.
May 18th. Just hang on to that, Dr. Gray.
That's that's a Monday, too. We're on the air, too.
Yep.
He'll be 73.
He'll be 74.
74, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was it 26 years ago, George Strait at Nissan. So time just flows by, man, and then flies by. Sorry. And then you look at that. If that vote's not approved, what happens? If that vote is not approved by the owners, what happens?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Knows?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what Nashville looks like? I mean, look, it would have changed if we had just been an NHL city, but not to the extent that it did of being an NFL city.
Well, I think two pro teams really put you on the map, which is.
And I do think that was
good.
Like hugely important for the city to have them both essentially come in around the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, you had the Titans for, well, I guess technically they played in Nashville the same year.
Yes.
98.
That's right.
Yeah. So, but look, I look at this and, I was thinking when you said that, I'm like, man, 30 years. How do Titans fans feel about what's happened in that 30-year window? You have no Super Bowl to show for it, 1 AFC championship, 3 AFC championship appearances.
But you've had some amazing moments.
You have.
That
Yeah,
stadium.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, like, in 30 years, which in reality isn't a very long time.
No.
You're just kind of scratching the surface of what the potential is.
Yeah, but you can't look. I get championships or the end all be all. I understand that, but I mean, are you gonna, Music City Miracle? One of the loudest moments that's underrated. Keith Bullock's interception on Christmas night in 2000. Yep. I mean, that against the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. I mean, all the moments that happened that went on, and the B-1 bomber that almost hit the stadium that pulled up at the last second. That was the loudest thing we've ever heard in our lives. I think that was the Chiefs game in 2000. So there was a lot of things. This young generation now, I mean, you're younger than I am, and you get to grow up with all these amazing moments that happen that a lot of us didn't get the opportunity for.
So here's what's wild. I just looked this up. So what happens in the next 30 years? 30 years from now, Amy Adams Strunk would be 100.
Okay.
If she, God blesses her to live that long, she would be 100 because she is 70 according to the internets. So if that were the case, obviously somebody's going to probably take over, and whether it's Kenneth or somebody, but did they win a Super Bowl in 30 years? It's easy to say no.
Right.
It's easy. It's easy to look at the history of both the Oilers and the Titans and say, yeah, probably not.
I'm going to say no. I'm just going to say no. I mean, it's just they haven't won one. I mean, no, I don't think so. It'll be a while if they win one.
And think about this too. For those of us that have been here for this whole 30 years, do you feel better about the team today than you did on day one?
Good question.
I would say probably not.
Probably not. But every team goes through every franchise goes through the ups and downs. At least most of them do, where they're just, like the Steelers. Steelers ever bad?
No,
bad.
No, and that's what's interesting because, like Mike Tomlin said it when he was on NBC, that he felt it was time for a change because they hadn't had the playoff success, and that the fans deserve that. I mean, you got a fan base that's mad about making the playoffs and getting beat in the first round, and then just missing it.
Yeah.
and like think about how much success they have had. So to your point, the answer is no.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got to search in your brain to remember when a team was bad, they're like the Niners. I know the Niners had the number one pick in 05 and they get Alex Smith, but are they consistently bad? No, they're not. I mean, so I guess the Titans are in that mid to low range. Like, they're not bad, not great, but they're not bad. So you sit there and think about that. And other teams, like with the Browns, you're like, oh, yeah, they're pretty bad.
So this is what the Steelers have done. The last 3 years, they were 10-7, 9-8, 22, 9-7 21, 12-4 and 20, 8-8, 19, 9-6 and 18, 13-3, 11-5, 10-6, 11-5, 8-8, 8-8, 12-4, 12-4, 9-7, 12-4, 10-6, 8-8, 11-5, 15-1, 6-10. 2003 is the last time they had a losing season.
Oh, wow. And then went Super Bowl 2 years later.
Yeah. And then before that, 10-5, 10-3, 9-7, 6-10 and 99.
10-3.
7-9, or 10-5, 13-3. 6-10, 7-9. So they had back-to-back losing seasons in 98, 99.
Vrabel was on that team. Blame Vrabel.
Probably. But I mean, before that,
So
they had a 7-9 season in 91, a 5-11 season in 88. I mean, they don't. You're right. They don't have bad seasons.
So, but don't they draft from the same pool of players the Titans do? I mean, so as I said, you'd rather be lucky than good, and the Steelers throughout the years have been lucky.
So the worst season they've had
69, 68
is they went 5-9 in 19. They went 1-13 in 1969.
And that's because of that. They drafted Bradshaw the next year.
Yeah. And that was Chuck Noll's first year as the head coach. So you go back to 1969, and that's the worst season that the Steelers have, I think, ever had.
Remember Terry Bradshaw told us about that?
They went 1-9-1 in 1941.
Nice. Bradshaw said he went fishing that day, and his dad's like, today's the NFL draft. Where are you going? He's like, I'm going fishing. If I get drafted, let me know when I get home. He's gone. That's what he said. Dr. Crane, you were there when he said that.
I was. That was pretty funny.
He said, I'm out of here. I'm going to go fishing. And he went fishing.
So that was when he was drafted?
Yeah, 1970. Yep.
Was he number one overall?
Yep. At Louisiana Tech.
Jeez.
He beat out the Duck Dynasty guy for the quarterback role there.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So, but
that
you
might have
look at
been
everything
before or
that goes
after
on.
the Pappy Van Winkle.
I think it was before. God, after he was fun. He was a good time. But that's the thing is that you think about the Titans, you're like, average. And that's where we don't want to be. I mean, I guess it's better than, they're terrible, but I know now you got a chance. Now you're moving forward with some things to get it better and kind of change the how people think about you on the greater landscape outside of Nashville.
615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We'll have more coming here from the Omni Nashville Hotel. NASCAR driver Chase Briscoe going to join us in person at 1:30. We'll also talk to Greg Wyshynski at 2 o'clock. Chase and Big Joe, presented by the Omni, at the Omni, 102.5. The late great David Allenco bringing us back, right? Isn't it?
That's him.
Yeah. Passing away at what, 86?
86 years old. Wrote "Take This Job and Shove It," and of course the iconic "You Don't Know My."
You never even called me by my
There
name.
you
Steve
go.
Goodman wrote that song,
Steve
as he
Goodman.
says.
Yeah, that's good. By the way, your guys are correct with the text line. Bradshaw did not beat out Phil Robertson. Phil Robertson quit to go duck hunting because it interfered with football season. So
there you go. Well, I think
all
that
right.
worked out for him.
Yeah, it worked out for both of them very
Yeah.
well. So it's all good.
There was a report that came out yesterday that the city of Nashville has made a $3.5 million bid with World Wrestling Entertainment to bring WrestleMania to the new Nissan Stadium in 2028. It says Nashville really wants to host WrestleMania. They've given WWE a huge $3.5 million offer, and also it comes with a tax break for WWE. So
does the city get that 3.5 back if you don't get it?
I don't know, but I mean they'd make it back,
Right.
for sure.
So when's the deadline? Next
I don't know.
year, Saudi Arabia?
WWE just has to accept it.
Okay. Does the timing help that Live Golf is now dead?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Because it sounds like the Saudi Public Fund or whatever, now they're pulling back on some stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So this would be WrestleMania 44 if it does come here. I think 28 is the perfect year to do it.
Got through the first
Make that
year.
be the first big event. Then you get the Super Bowl a couple years later.
Okay.
So I think it could be huge.
I bet they're going to jam that place with so much. Well, you got to do something next year. We talked about that. We think that Garth Brooks will open up the new Nissan Stadium next year. I think he'll be the guy, and then have a few more events, roll through 27, and then boom, open for business.
Now here's my question, because what comes with this is not only 2 nights of WrestleMania at the stadium, but you would have SmackDown on Friday, Raw on Monday, and potentially another event at the arena during WrestleMania week.
Okay.
The other, and I know that there's going to be things going on, but, the Predators put out today, they've started, the renovations are starting. They're doing some kind of pre-stuff this summer, and then it gets hot and heavy in 27 and 28.
You could dress up Municipal for a little bit.
No.
Right?
No, I mean, the arena will be usable, but it just,
right.
that will all be going on.
It's a busy time in our city.
But I think, their goal is to have the arena done by the 29-30 season.
Okay.
So, which would be
I
great.
thought that was a 10-year plan. Did I misread something?
I think there's a couple of phases out, but the main stuff is 29-30.
Like a hotel they're going to add and everything else over there.
Yeah, I just think the new office part, it's cool. I mean, all the renderings and everything, it's going to be cool.
So it's pretty much a done deal, 28, you think?
I think so.
I mean, who would be the bid against them?
New Orleans or Indianapolis, because they have agreements in place that New Orleans and Indy are going to host a future WrestleMania. New Orleans has hosted it a few times. I've been there when it hosted it. Indy's never hosted it. So, but they do like going into a new stadium right after it opens.
Okay.
So, and I think with New Orleans, I think they're about to do some big renovations to the dome. So, then they could go there.
That's still the Superdome is still the most impressive structure I've ever seen in my life.
I agree. When I went there for WrestleMania, I was in awe.
I mean, you're pulling into the city and you're like, what is, there's like a big pimple on the city. And it's like this huge, I mean, the new Nissan Stadium, it looks like an apartment complex. It's just like put in there like a big box. It looks good. I mean, it fits in right. Superdome was just massive.
Well, and
massive.
There were arenas right next to it. And so you look at the arena and go, this thing's tiny.
Yep. Is that the Smoothie King Arena? I think it is now. Yeah.
Smoothie King Center or something.
Smoothie King Center.
Because I went there for the Hall of Fame. That was hilarious because they put Mr. T in the WWE Hall of Fame for that one. And they told him, hey, you're going to get about 10 minutes for your speech.
Right.
He went an hour. And they had to send Kane out, the mayor of Knoxville, to get him off the stage.
Gosh. By the way, was that Chase Briscoe?
No, that was not. But he had this in the middle of his speech, he was like, "I wrote a poem
Oh no!
from my mama." And it's,
So how do you get him off the stage? How
I
did
don't
King?
know.
Did he just say, "Look"?
He
we gotta
came
go?
out like, "Hey man, you gotta wrap this
Oh
up."
my gosh!
But yeah, he had like a poem talking. He's like, "I want to talk about my mama." It's like he goes on
yes.
and on. I mean, that thing used to be like 5 hours.
I'm not sitting through that.
Yeah, no.
Do they condense it to an hour or two?
They've
Two at the most.
well, yeah. I mean, it depends on who it is. Like,
Okay.
you're gonna give the Undertaker as long as he wants. You're gonna give Triple H as long as he wants.
Right.
You know, there's a few.
You should do that.
Right. They have kind of earned it.
Well, if it comes, look, that's 4 days of fun. People love it to be sold out. It's good for the city.
Well, and
I'm all
my
about
thing
that.
is, I would do the Hall of Fame at the Ryman. I think that would be so badass. Do the Hall of Fame at the Ryman.
But you lose out though on what's that hold 3,000? You lose out on 10,000, 12,000.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
But still,
but you do. It would look cool. You know, they could do it at the arena. They have done. I mean, usually they would do it in an arena, but I in Vegas they've done it at a few different venues. I think it'd be awesome to do it. At the
so
Ryman.
Dr. Green says, have all three events happened in the same weekend? Friday night SmackDown, Saturday Sunday WrestleMania, Monday night. That's the goal now, right? Isn't it? How that goes now?
Yeah, you couldn't do SmackDown at the Pinnacle because it's too small. You'd have to do both SmackDown and Raw at Bridgestone.
Okay.
But you could do like an NXT event at the Pinnacle. There could definitely be something at the Pinnacle.
There you go. It's all built up now.
Yeah.
Couldn't do this 30 years ago, but now you can.
Here's the other cool thing. I mean, not only does WWE come to town, but it's such a wrestling Super Bowl weekend. You're going to have some of the independent promotions that would bring stuff here too. So Municipal would probably have something. Fairgrounds would have something.
Not at the same time, would it?
No, but
Okay.
like during that weekend where, I mean, you can just mark out, go to wrestling all weekend. Like your son would love it.
Good. Still a massive event. I
So
get it.
and you got 2 years to save up for it. So because it'll cost you a year's salary probably to pay for
Lord.
everything.
Right?
So
Make him work 3 jobs before tickets.
exactly.
Oh my gosh.
615-737-1025. We'll have more coming here from the Omni Nashville Hotel. We have a lovely audience here today on 1025 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Thursday at the Omni Nashville Hotel. I've been watching. So there's a website the Predators and Bridgestone Arena have launched called Broadway2030.com, and it shows all the renderings and videos and stuff of the arena. I mean, this is going to be awesome.
What's the
it's
website
gonna be
again? What is it
so
again?
cool. Broadway2030.com.
Broadway 2030.
It's got the new office complex for the Preds and stuff that'll be going down Broadway, the new plaza that's going to just be phenomenal, and how you enter the building and all the new amenities. I mean, it's just going to be really, really, really cool. They're going to cover the plaza too, so they can do more on parts of the plaza.
Well, good.
So
I hope I'm still alive in 2030.
I
take part
hope
of
you
that.
are too. I think you will be.
Thanks, buddy.
And then you go down. I guess this is taking you down 5th, and like the different entrance on the Sobro side, and I guess that's where the hotel is. And I mean, this is just phenomenal. So going to be cool to see.
Good.
You have something about expansion.
I do, buddy. So Athlon Sports put out this thing about if the NBA was to expand, where would they go? These cities, these top 10 cities. And there's some cities in here that I never thought about, right? And so you could kind of look, the Major League Baseball is not the same as Major League as basketball. I get that. But these are still cities that are vying for teams. So at number 10, NBA expansion city options, Pittsburgh. You ever thought about
NBA?
Doesn't sound good to me. There's a movie called The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh that came out in like 1980 about NBA, but not there. Number 9, Jacksonville.
No. Too close to Orlando, and yeah, I'd say no.
Number 8, Columbus, Ohio.
That one's interesting. They have the arena. The Blue Jackets do well.
But you're close to Cleveland.
It is close to Cleveland.
Number 7, San Diego.
I would say if they're going to expand into Ohio, I would say Cincinnati.
Cincinnati does not make this list.
San Diego would make a ton of sense, but again, you'd have a lot there in Southern California.
Yeah.
But San Diego makes sense.
Number 6, Vancouver. I say no. You had a team and lost it, so you don't get it. Number 5, Montreal.
Montreal's interesting. Do they care? I mean, they are all in on the Habs.
They are.
Like they live and breathe the Canadians.
But basketball has become the global sport.
Yeah.
It's getting there. Number 4, Mexico City.
I feel like there's going to be a pro sport in Mexico City other than soccer sooner rather than later.
Number 3, Las Vegas for NBA.
That should be number 1. That's a given.
Number 2, Kansas City.
Interesting. They have the building. They built I guess it's T-Mobile Center now, but they built that for either the NBA or the NHL, and they haven't gotten it yet. So
number 1 city, NBA expansion, Seattle.
That's a no-brainer.
You had a team, you lost it. Should that?
Yeah, but that's
you?
a different. They lost it because the owner was like, "I'm just leaving."
Okay.
Essentially, I mean, they needed a new arena and all that, but I don't put that on the city because the Sonics had a ton of support.
They won 2 NBA titles in the late 70s. I don't know. It's just the Kraken are doing well there, and if they go back there, I just think maybe another city gets a shot at that. But the Jacksonville thing was curious. I think it would be a disaster in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I
don't go anywhere near that.
But I mean, like Jacksonville is one of those cities that the fact that they have the NFL is weird to me.
Yeah.
Like I was young, so you probably remember this more. How did Jacksonville beat out? Wasn't it Memphis? It was Memphis, Jacksonville, Birmingham. Was Birmingham in?
I don't think so. They had
That was 95.
It was. Well, 93 they got
93
they got nominated or selected, and then 95 was their first year. Stephen Clarksville says, being born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida, I can honestly say no one there cares about the Orlando Magic. I can see that, and you were correct about that. That's why I
So
don't think it'll work there.
So the in '93 the NFL expanded from 28 to 30 teams, selecting the Carolina Panthers and the Jacksonville Jaguars as expansion franchises. These teams were chosen over finalists Baltimore, St. Louis, and Memphis. The Baltimore Bombers, the St. Louis Stallions, and the Memphis Hound Dogs.
Oh gosh.
And then, of course, Baltimore ends up getting the Ravens. St. Louis gets the Rams and then loses them. But, yeah, so I guess that's who they beat out.
And maybe that's why Memphis is so mad at Nashville, because in the late 80s, Memphis was being flirted with. The Oilers, again, were flirting with them in the late 80s about going there and playing at the Liberty Bowl, and it never happened. And Bud got a new – John McClain's talked about this. Bud got a new deal at the Astrodome and promises and guarantees and everything like that. And so Memphis was left at the altar, and now there's no shot in hell Memphis ever gets –
I mean, I feel like for a long time Nashville wouldn't even have thought.
It wasn't. That's why when it happened in '95, when I remember and McClain said this too, the Oilers played the Redskins at Neyland Stadium, and that's when Bud met with Phil Bredesen. According to John, started talking, and that laid the groundwork for what happened. And then the next year, it got approved, and 30 years ago today, it was approved. The NFL approved the move of the Houston Oilers to Nashville, and then the rest has changed after that. So Nashville's never.
Yeah.
Richard Fulton, an old mayor in the 80s, said Nashville could host an Olympics. We're like, there's no way in hell Nashville's hosting Olympics. And then like 8 years later, Atlanta has it. So I guess the thing is, if you go to dream big, right? Dream massively huge. You never know what could happen. And then Atlanta got the Olympics. Nashville now has a football team, 30 years in the making, and on and on and on.
So it's funny to think that the last, I mean, I guess you could call it like the true expansion of the NFL was the 95 is the first seasons with the Jags and the Panthers. 99 you had the reborn Browns because that was kind of the deal that the NFL struck with Cleveland.
Correct.
And then they kind of did the same thing with the Texans
in 02.
So, that was basically the last two expansion teams have been replacement teams for teams that left.
Yeah, and I think now if you expand any of the leagues, you're just doing it to a money grab. The talent is so bad. I mean,
I think the NFL is going to expand.
Globally, not in America, it won't.
No, I think what's going to happen, and I almost like this better. They're going to basically go to 18 games. Each team is going to play one game a year across overseas. And then I think they expand in the continental North America. So I could see Canada maybe, Mexico City maybe, but I do think they expand.
I think it goes to London. I think London gets a team, and what I think will happen is London team will come over here for 2 weeks, go back there for 2 weeks, come over here for 2 weeks, have a landing base somewhere in the United States that's your training facility and where you live and stay, and then 2 weeks go back over to London. I just think the money is there, and they're so money hungry and greedy, they'll take whatever they can get.
Could be. 615-737-1025. We'll have, again, driver Chase Briscoe join us in the 1 o'clock hour around 1:30. Talk about NASCAR and the Nashville Super Speedway, that race. It is a month away. A month from now, we're going to be out there. So hard to believe, the Cracker Barrel 400. So we'll get into that and much more in hour number 2. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Hour number 2, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Thursday at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Bar Lines. He's Big Joe. I'm Chase McCabe. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier back at the ranch as well. We'll get back into our question of the day coming up here in just a second, but a couple of texts that came through. Thank you to a fellow wrestling mark, as they put on the text line. I forgot WrestleMania 8 was actually held at the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis in 1992, which I guess became the RCA Dome later, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so they have held it in the city, but not in
Okay.
the new stadium or whatever it is. So there you go. Richie from Whitehouse says, I don't think Vancouver would get an NBA team. There are already rumors about MLS being there, and they're being bought and moved over to Vegas. Vegas will have everything
Right?
within like 5 years.
That's crazy. When is the baseball team expected to start?
Is it next year?
I think
It's either next year
27
or
or 28.
Yeah,
So they're just called the A's now. I don't even know what they play.
they'll be the Vegas A's.
Vegas A's. And then they move. They're in Sacramento right now, playing in the minor league stadium there, I guess. We should get our Sacramento
Yeah,
beat reporter, Kayla, to call in.
They're above 500.
Are they?
They are. Last time I checked, they were 16 and 14.
16 and 14. Well, we got another 9 months left in the season, so anything can change. Anything can happen with all that.
Steven from Clarksville, Mexico will never get an NFL team. The elevation being higher than Denver would be hell to play at regularly.
I don't think they'll get one either. I
think the players would shoot that down, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I think London was optional. I know they look at another city in Germany or whatever, but I think London's the one that's kind of the task and see we could do this.
What would make the most sense? Put a franchise in London or have every team play one game a year, with the majority of them in London, but play Germany, because I don't think you can do both.
That's just so 2 teams over there?
No, what I'm saying is, like, if you put a franchise in London, but you're still going to do the international games, like, how are you going to do that? Are you basically going to say, well, you're either going to play London or you're going to play an international game?
Yes, they would, yeah. Because you'd want to be on that national landscape, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I get expansion. I see why they want to do it, but why can't for just years just leave it alone?
And I mean, to your point, the talent pool isn't very big, especially with quarterbacks.
It's not.
I mean, like like I thought Tim gave a really good answer the other day when I said, "Are we developing quarterbacks like we should?" And he pretty much said no.
No.
And so it's like, okay, you have 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Is it safe to say that probably 20 of them, if that, actually deserve to be a starting quarterback?
Sure. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
So
so you give me 2 more teams? I mean, look at the UFL. UFL, I mean, I know those guys are playing hard, but there's not a guy that like, he's going to start for the Bills on Sunday. No, we don't hear none of that stuff.
Right.
I don't know. It's okay to take a break sometimes and not have to do it all the time. And I actually look forward to this little break of football in the summertime, and we get fired back up in late July and carries us on. That's good. But if you're adding more teams, unlike baseball, we want more expansion. I mean, the talent pool is really bad now in half the league. It's really bad.
Wes and Hermitage, the Vegas A's sounds like a gentleman's club that Diego Pavia would attend. That's pretty good.
That's exactly right.
Why don't you reset our question of the day?
All right, our question today is we get a lot of response to it and keep it going. What's the most expensive thing you have ever touched? What's the most expensive thing you have ever touched? 615-737-1025. That is our question of the day, and we had some fantastic answers earlier, like a gentleman called in and said he touched a $1.2 million Bugatti car, and which just blows my mind. I couldn't imagine. I'm lucky putting my car on the road around Nashville. A $1.2 million car around Nashville. Anyway, that's the question. What's the most expensive thing you have ever touched?
Mine it's either a 67 or a 68 Shelby GT 500.
What does that go for, you think?
Who knows? Now?
He
So-
said, "Come on, boy, sit in this car, man."
Is he Elvis?
He's a little Noonan, Georgia Elvis.
A 67 Shelby GT 500 typically sells between 125 and 270,000.
Ooh,
with
That's
an
a wide
average
range.
market price of 190.
okay. You can't say your house. And then Bucket, of course, is my ex-wife. You can't say your house or your ex-wife. You got to keep these PG. We like our job. Unlike yesterday when we asked about the Kentucky Derby name.
There was a good one that there was a good one that I read just a few minutes ago.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, John goes, has anyone said their wife? I'm like, everybody's saying their wife.
You can't say your wife or your house.
Yeah.
You can say the car. I mean, I've never, I guess a Porsche. I don't, Corvette, a vintage Corvette I've touched, but nothing like, hey, look at me. I'm not a car guy to that extent of like, I know what things are worth.
I don't know if I should read this, but
Oh, no.
9032 says the most expensive thing I've ever touched was my neighbor's wife.
Hey,
Okay. You never know where some of these questions are going to go. That is for sure. And I'm scared to take this phone call too.
Oh no! Is it who we think it is?
Yes.
Hello, Clay.
Boys, how we doing today?
Oh, we're better now.
I broke my promise. I already told Joe I'm not going to be able to make it by today, so no red velvet cake.
You got a big meeting?
Next time I join you guys, trust me, I'll have some cake.
Good.
Okay.
By the way, Clay, I know why you're calling. Happy birthday to you, buddy.
Happy birthday, Clay.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
What you got
I'm an
planned
old
for your
man
birthday?
today, boys, 65.
That's all right. What you got planned for your birthday today?
Just had lunch, and I'm also going to have a nice steak dinner tonight.
Nice. Mario Moore coming?
That's not an answer.
So, Dr. Crane tells me the question of the day is the most expensive thing you've ever touched.
Yep.
I'd probably say Derek Mason's Porsche.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Which Derek Mason?
Like our Derek Mason?
You're Derek Mason. That's
Yeah.
Why are you? Does he know you touched his Porsche?
right. Maybe not.
Yeah, I wouldn't be saying that out loud. This might be the one moment Derek listens the whole month.
I'm gonna get no, he listens, don't worry. I'm gonna get a phone call in a second, Clay. Does shaking the hand of an NBA player or an NFL player count?
I would say so.
No,
Okay.
you got to touch.
Yeah. All right, Clay. Thank you. Happy birthday, bud.
See you, boys.
Wow. 65.
All right, it makes your day right there, doesn't it?
Because I mean, we could say Derek Mason if that does count.
True.
Can I
Right?
redact mine? Can mine be Larry Bird? The guy's
Oh.
worth $75 million.
Oh, you know who we got though? We could say Bill Haslam.
Well, that's true. Good say, Bill.
Bill's got a few coins laying around. But that's
Is he a billionaire?
oh,
Yeah.
many, many times over.
So we know a billionaire.
I mean, I don't know if we know him. Like
I would say he knows. I
if
mean, he
walked
knows
in here,
us.
he wouldn't say Joe and Chase.
I think
like,
he
those are the two guys I talked to one
would. I think
time.
he would.
Oh, I hope maybe. I don't think so. But I think he's worth about $6 billion.
So is that the only billionaire we know?
Let's see. Oh man, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a weird word. I mean, like can you pick up your phone and call him? Like, who's the most expensive? Who's the wealthiest person in your phone?
Oh, no, that's a good question.
Right?
Probably Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. Did you pirate his number when he called in last year, like Greg Pogue did?
No, I think they gave it to me.
Okay.
I can't remember. Yeah, probably Ice Cube.
I guess maybe Vince Gill in my
Yeah,
phone.
Vince. Yeah.
It could be. Dr. Craig, what about you? You got David Free's number?
No, I wish.
It's got David Jane's number.
I do have his number in here. That is great. I'm looking through my contacts right now. Nothing really sticks out. I would say, man, we got the Eric Church's drummer in here. What else? Former, Frank Wycheck's in here, deceased. I mean, the list goes on and on, but there's nothing really that sticks out. I mean, Paul Feinbaum, maybe. It depends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. What to look for, so we appreciate the effort there.
Jeremy in Clarksville says, the question of the day is a little vague. I've touched both an A10 Warthog, which is worth $13 million, and an Abrams tank, which is $19 million. Not sure those count. Those
They do count.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They
those count.
absolutely count.
Yeah.
Abrams tank. That's badass.
John says the most expensive thing I ever touched is the Washington, D.C. wastewater plant, which is approximately $7.5 billion.
All right. You touch it, and it's worth something, so there you go.
0248, a $560,000 check, worked in food service and large franchise, paying their 90-day bill.
It's a check, though.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, it's
touch
still
it.
like it's
Something.
worth that.
Yeah, I get it. But something more tangible.
Wes and
different.
Hermitage. This is a good one. Wes and Hermitage. I touched Adam West's Batmobile. He drove it to Opryland Hotel when he stayed there about 8 years ago. One of the craziest experiences of my life. He parked right in front of the lobby main doors and would not let any of the valet drivers touch it or sit in the car, and I don't blame him.
I was just saying, off of that, like one celebrity that we had that you had on or talked to that would never shut up. Usually they don't talk.
Yeah.
Like we had Hannah Storm on years
Oh,
ago.
yeah, I remember that.
We asked her 2 questions. She spoke for 17 minutes.
Yeah.
She was doing a documentary. My TV nightmare was I interviewed Butch Patrick, and Butch wouldn't shut up. And he kept talking after it was over. And, I mean, it was a very weird interview I had with Eddie Munster many, many years ago. That was an odd point for me, just a celebrity that wouldn't shut up.
Yeah.
And I did not touch Eddie Munster.
The phone game is kind of fun, like the most famous person in your phone.
I guess, yeah. Right? Vince Gill, maybe?
I think I asked I was trying to do something fun like that one time when I was at the racetrack, and I asked that to Austin Dillon, and he laughed and goes, Dale Jr.?
Oh, man.
I was like, yeah, I guess that kind of wins.
Well, we had Jeff Jarrett here. We asked Jeff Jarrett that question. I was like, on your phone, I said, could you call The Rock right now? He's like, yeah, I don't want to, but yeah, I can call him. I'm like, all right, that's kind of cool.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's probably got like Flair and
all those guys.
They're
the same. I mean,
by the way, if you want to watch, I thought it was very well done. I watched the Hulk Hogan documentary on Netflix. It is one of those, like, I was legitimately sad at the end of it because he did this he did all the interviews like literally months before he died. And like the fact that he's using a cane and like couldn't walk and all that stuff. And then, his personal life and his ex-wife is in it. And it's like, look, it's a lot of it was self-inflicted, but at the same time, it's like you just that was Hulk Hogan. And to see that fall from grace, which was really it was pretty tough. But it's very well done.
All that was self-inflicted with him.
All of it, yeah. I mean, look, it's funny. Somebody, I think it's I can't remember who said it in the documentary, but the biggest problem that like some of those guys fall into, and I would say Hogan and Ric Flair are two of the best examples of it, but they're a mark for their own gimmick, which means Terry Bollea forgot who Terry Bollea was and was always Hulk Hogan. I mean,
can see that.
He was just, know, and Richard Fleer, Ric Flair has no idea who Richard Fleer is. I mean, he was asked that. He was like, who is Richard Fleer? And he goes, I have no idea.
That's a good, interesting conversation right there.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's like you become the gimmick. We'll take more of your calls, more of your texts on our question of the day, and much more. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game.
All right, guys, Big Joe here. It's that time during the show. We talk about mental health and how to get you back on track and living the life that you deserve. And it's so simple. Again, we're so honored that we've partnered with UnityCares.com. UnityCares.com is based right here in Middle Tennessee. Trained great therapists to get you back living the life you absolutely deserve. They're based, again, right here in Middle Tennessee, and it's private, it's secure, it's confidential, and they offer telehealth. I just need you to go if you're feeling down and life's got you and won't let go. They're here for you, right? Their whole job is to get you back living the life you deserve. We tell you all the time, you don't have to go through any of this alone. You do not have to go through any of this alone. Therapy, as I've told you guys, changed my life. I didn't want to go, but then I went. I'm like, why did I have not do this a long time ago? And it does. It'll change your life. So unitycares.com is where you need to go. And all the questions on the page are answered for you. We talk about this all the time. People say, well, I don't know where to go. I don't even know where to begin. UnityCares.com has you covered. Every question you need answered is right there on the webpage, and it's all there for you. And again, this is important. If you're a loved one that notices your loved one isn't doing quite right, there's something a little different about them, sit down with them, talk to them. You could be the one person to get them into therapy and change their life, change your life as well. It's that easy to do. Again, you don't have to go through any of this alone. The website, again, unitycares.com. It's unitycares.com.
Little Rick Derringer bringing us back, Real American. Chasing Big Joe 102.5 the game. They had like this part where they're it's like playing like the kind of the sad music and and all that, and then he says like Hulkamania will live forever, and that guitar just comes blasting in with Real America, and you're just like, I want to rip my shirt off.
Do it.
It's
Do it right
great.
in front of these people.
Let's go to the phones on our question of the day. Tim wants to weigh in on our question of the day, which is, what is the most expensive thing you have ever touched? Tim, what you got?
Well, I've been with American Airlines for about 40 years, and the most expensive thing I ever touched was 777.
How much is that?
Oh, it's a few $2 million, probably a couple $100 million.
Wow. Okay. That's a good one.
What did you do for the airlines?
I'm a crew chief on the ground.
Okay.
So
Very nice.
You still get those flight benefits there, Tim?
Absolutely.
Very nice. Thanks for the call, Tim.
Yeah.
Great, Tim.
All right.
Thanks, pal.
Y'all have a good one.
You too.
777.
Okay. That's a good one.
777.
Jason wants to weigh in on our question of the day. Jason, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Hey, yeah, I guess I'm doing all right. Most expensive thing I've ever touched is my liver.
Oh.
Oh, well, I
Damn.
bought it, so it ain't my liver right now. But I don't know, my first one might have cost me more than this one. But anyway, a transplant's like almost, I don't know, $1.5 million or something like that.
Wow.
So
Are you doing
keeps
okay
going
now?
on. The medicine costs a lot.
Are you doing okay now?
Oh, yeah, it's been about 10 years.
Okay. Well, good,
Okay.
bud. God, that's
Well,
good. All right.
I touch it every day, though.
Well,
But
that's good.
I get it.
I don't drink no more.
Yeah.
Smart
that's
man.
Good. Congrats
No,
on
I
that.
don't drink no more. No more. I mean, literally.
Good.
Thank you,
Well done,
Jason.
pal.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you, buddy. By the way, this story just came out here, and Duke University is entering its first of kind enterprise partnership with Amazon. That also includes a retail giant streaming service televising 3 marquee men's college basketball games next season. The deal will include extensive NIL opportunities for Duke athletics. It's part of a broader retail partnership expected to be announced at a later date. So how is this possible when you go outside the conference's television contract?
I don't know. That is interesting.
While a significant move for Duke, the agreement also represents Amazon's first foray into broadcasting live college sports. Prime Video has televised select NFL games since the 2017 season and have exclusive rights to Thursday Night Football to 2033. The streaming service also began an 11-year media rights agreement with NBA this past season. But as far as colleges go, they have those contracts. Says Duke worked with the ACC and ESPN on future scheduling commitments in exchange for the ability to play these 3 neutral site games, including participating in the select ESPN-owned and operated neutral site events in 28 and 29 seasons. This is crazy, man. And where's it going to stop now?
It's not. It's not going to stop. Dustin in Hopkinsville wants to answer the question of the day. What you got, Dustin?
Good afternoon, boys. I win. The most expensive thing I've ever touched is my wife. It's priceless. Mic drop. See ya.
All right. Thank you, Dustin. Appreciate that one. That was the 13th one.
Well, I hope that, no, but saying she's priceless, I think that could help him.
Pretty good, yeah.
That could help him out. That's a good one. Coming up next, we're going to talk a little racing with Chase Briscoe, driver of the number 19 for Joe Gibbs Racing. We got a couple of Joe Gibbs drivers the last few weeks, so we will do that coming up next as we are 1 month away from Cracker Barrel 400 weekend at the Nashville Super Speedway. That's all next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Thursday. He's Big Joe. I'm Chase McCabe. We got another Chase joining the show. Chase Briscoe, driver of the number 19 Bass Pro Shops Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. The Nashville Super Speedway Cracker Barrel 400 weekend, a month away. Hard to believe. And Chase will be there with the rest of the NASCAR Cup Series. What's up, man? How are you?
Doing good. Yeah, excited to be in Nashville. It's always a cool spot to come to. So, yeah, looking forward to obviously coming back here at the end of May. But, yeah, excited to be here today.
Do you you like running out at the Super Speedway? I feel like most of you drivers typically do.
Yeah,
good side-by-side racing.
Yeah, for sure. It's a cool racetrack. And then just the area, right? Like, it's just a great area to come to. There's tons of stuff to do. It's one of those tracks where, you know, your wife and kids want to come. So, yeah, we always enjoy coming here.
There's nothing to do in Nashville either.
Yeah, nothing to do. Yeah, nothing to do.
Talladega, we were just talking before we went on the air. Talladega's in the books, and I have a feeling you're happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, I wish it would have went better, but yeah, definitely glad that I guess it's done and over with. I don't think we run a super speedway for like 3 or 4 months now. So yeah, the super speedways are stressful for us.
Yeah.
You know, there's always big crashes. I mean, we saw that at Talladega. I think it was like
that
a
one was
25
wild
car wreck. So yeah, it was not ideal.
Like I forgot where you were when that whole thing happened, but like what's going through your head when you see it all unfolding?
Yeah, so I was like literally fourth from last. We were kind of just saving fuel. There was nowhere to go. We were 3 or 4 wide for like three laps in a row, and you could kind of sense it coming. But yeah, I was able to start slowing down. There's just smoke everywhere, right? And then this with the banking, everything slides down, and I was on the bottom and just kind of got cleaned out there at the end. So yeah, it's hard when you're in one of those positions. I think, you know, out of all the guys that were back there, only 2 guys got through there, and it was Hocevar and Denny, and the rest of us were all wiped up in it.
Yeah, it was wild. When you're in those situations, I mean, obviously I get a different perspective watching from TV or on a monitor or something. You can kind of see how it happens. Is your initial thought before you go back and watch it, all right, who did something stupid?
Yeah, so I was totally surprised at last week's wreck. Just because we were 3 and 4 wide, like I had no idea it started from the lead. A bad push. I thought it was kind of right in the mid pack, and yeah, so I was actually surprised when I went back and watched it that it started at the front, because just how we were running 3 and 4 wide, like I could, like I said, sense it coming. And then when I went back and watched it, I didn't know it was from a bad push or whatever. So yeah, it kind of caught me off guard.
You finished second in Atlanta. I know you want to win the race. Finishing second, you so close. Is it frustrating? Are you pleased? Are you happy? Or are you like, nah?
I mean, Atlanta was the second race of the year, so that one you're just like glad to have a good finish, truthfully,
right?
So early in the year. And then yeah, the week before was the Daytona 500. We got taken out there. I think we finished like 35th. So yeah, I was okay with second. I mean, as okay as you can be, but that was one of those ones I felt like I could have won, you know, if I just had another lap. So yeah, it kind of just depends on the circumstances. You know, now looking back on it, I'm glad we at least finished second. I didn't wreck at that one.
Right.
Because I think we had 3 DNFs in a row after that. So yeah, it was just a rough start to our season. That was kind of the only bright spot there for a while. So yeah, it just depends on your situation, where you're at in the season. But yeah, second, I mean, it still stinks, especially when you're that close.
Yeah, right. So you got the pole for Daytona. What's that 24 hours like before the race starts and you get the pole? I got to think it's great. It's pressure. It's everything you want to be as a race car driver.
Yeah, so Daytona is kind of unique because, you know, for the Daytona 500, we actually qualify on Wednesdays, so early before the race.
That's right.
And so, yeah, you qualify on the pole, and then you just do media like crazy, and it's nuts. You know, I've been able to, you know, win the pole for other races, and you might do a couple of interviews, but the Daytona 500, I mean, it is a full 5-6 hours of just interview after interview, and you don't realize how big of a deal it is, truthfully, to start on the pole of the Daytona 500. But yeah, that Saturday night and when you wake up Sunday morning, it's a cool feeling knowing that you're starting on the front row of the Daytona 500 and just coming to the green. I make it a point really every week, no matter where we're racing at, wherever I start, to just kind of look up in the grandstands, kind of take it in for a second. And doing that at the Daytona 500 from the front row, it's a totally different feeling.
Do you always get the like Mike Joy's like, nobody's won taking the pole one Daytona the first year since 1958, whatever it is. I mean, there's all those things like, you better off not getting the pole.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, nobody's won from the pole in a long time there. And this year we actually qualified second. I was joking. Kyle Busch got the pole. I told him right before we went out to qualify, I said, I'll gladly let you get the pole. I'll just take second because I don't have to do any of the media stuff that way.
Right.
But yeah, it's a huge deal for the team, truthfully, to be able to start on the front row. But yeah, statistically, it's crazy how, the pole sitter just hasn't won that race in a really, really long time.
How cool you talk about taking that moment to look into the stands. Do you do like at Bristol and at Darlington everywhere?
Yeah, every week I normally try to do that just for the initial start of the race. Just and kind of realize it's like a pinch me moment every time I do it. Of like, man, you're getting to race in the Cup Series, and it's cool. Like especially at the Daytona 500 when it's sold out crowd, 200,000 people there. It's one of those races like as a kid you grow up watching all the time, and then to know that you're actually leading the field of green in one of the most iconic races, it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
At Bristol, especially the night race, can you hear the crowd inside the car?
Yeah. Under caution you can. Under green you can't, but under caution definitely can. And it's crazy at Daytona and Talladega. I'll hear it under green, just because your spotter's always keyed up and talking.
Oh, yeah.
So if something happens, I can normally hear the crowd like start yelling at something. At some tracks you can hear them under caution. Bristol's one of them. Martinsville's another one. North Wilkesboro. The tracks where they're super, super close.
Yeah,
you can definitely hear them under caution.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So if you were to win here at Nashville, you get the guitar. A lot of you drivers love the guitar. You gonna learn to play it?
I don't know if I used to be able to do just Smoke on the Water. There
okay,
well,
there you go.
Yeah. I don't even remember now. I was like a real little when I did it. But, that's probably about the extent of my guitar playing.
Okay.
My 4-year-old would love it, though.
See, that's what a lot of the answers are. Like, well, my kid would probably learn how to play it. So yeah, that'd be cool.
Is this, go back to your spotter for a second. Is the spotter communication ever gone out during a race?
It's happened to people before. It's happened to me, like just where it's real fuzzy and staticky. You guys live it right with radio.
Yeah.
And, it's not always perfect. So yeah, sometimes especially at road courses. We might be a mile away sometimes from where he's at. So he's talking. I don't even hear it. But I've never had it just completely go out.
No, that's right. So if the crew chief's got to give you a message, is he able to talk to you?
It depends on where I'm at on the racetrack. So typically the spotter I can always hear because he's up on top of the grandstand, so his signal's the best. But, literally last week at Talladega, for example, when I'm on the back straightaway, my crew chief can talk to me, but it's pretty staticky. I can't really hear it that great. So normally he'll relay the message through the spotter, and the spotter will tell it to me.
Oh, okay. It's fascinating about all this.
Was Drew your spotter at SHR or just with Gibbs?
Just a Joe Gibbs.
Okay. Yeah. So was there an adjustment going from?
Yeah, it's really hard whenever you switch spotters just because of the trust that you have to have in that person.
Yeah.
Literally Daytona or Talladega, they're looking through binoculars at, I don't know, 3/4 of a mile away, and they're clearing you by an inch sometimes less. And if you hesitate, a tenth of a second, you're going to crash the field. So you really have to just have this cadence and this trust with each guy. And, I've worked with probably 4 or 5 different spotters now, and, you can hear it in their voice sometimes. And the relationship you have with that person is huge, especially when you go super speedway racing, because they're not driving the car, but they're really painting the picture for what's happening and what moves to make. So, they're really kind of the head coach, the offensive coordinator, and the defensive coordinator at the super speedway races. And, having that trust with them is really, really important.
Chase Briscoe is with us, driver of the number 19 for Joe Gibbs Racing. You got to drive for Tony Stewart. Now you drive for the team that Tony Stewart drove for with Joe Gibbs. That's got to be a pretty cool part of your career.
It's definitely super cool. I grew up a diehard Tony Stewart fan. We grew up 45 minutes apart in Indiana. And so for me as a kid, Tony was like my idol. And when I started trying to do the NASCAR thing, I remember telling my parents, like, man, it'd be a dream come true if I could somehow drive the 14 car. That would be the one I would pick. And then I got to go drive for Tony Stewart in the 14 car. And then when that team shut down, to be able to just so happen go to Joe Gibbs Racing. As a kid, I would wear my Home Depot, Joe Gibbs Racing, Tony Stewart fire suit and play my video games. And so it's crazy how it's all kind of worked out to where, now I'm getting to drive for Coach and just to even be behind the scenes with Coach. And the guy's 85 years old, I want to say, and just to learn from the knowledge that he has, it's pretty unbelievable.
So he asked me one time, who are the cool people you've gotten to meet in racing and stuff, and it's like, okay, Dale Jr. and whatever, but my answer is always Coach Gibbs.
Yeah,
it was the 2014 Daytona 500, and I'm just cruising through the garage area. It's my first time there. I'm barely in the media business, and I'm just bright-eyed and everything, and here comes Coach. And in my head I'm like, I mean, do I say hi? Do I say something? And it was just like, Coach Gibbs, how you doing? Introduced myself, and he's like, well, son, how are you? And like, was the nicest guy.
He's awesome.
You want a picture? And I mean, and it was just like, this guy's won 3 Super Bowls and multiple cups, and it's just so I can only imagine what it's like for you to be able to drive for him.
Yeah, just to get to be around him, and he's so good at like motivating people. You can see why he was such a successful football coach. And I asked him, we were going on a trip somewhere. I'm like, when you went back and coached the second time, like what was different? And he's like, well, the game changed a lot, but the thing that didn't change is what motivates people. And it's the same for us in NASCAR, right? So yeah, it's been really fun just getting to learn from Coach. My favorite Coach story is he always carries the Super Bowl ring. He's got one of the 3 always on him. And he'll like let people take pictures with it and stuff. We were flying somewhere, and he was digging through his briefcase, and he's just like, "Oh my gosh, there it is! I found it!" And he pulls down. He's like, "This is my Super Bowl ring, another one." Like he has one wearing it, and this one I found in his briefcase. And he said, "I've been looking for this thing for like 7 months. I thought I lost it." And it was just he has Super Bowl rings in his briefcase.
That's amazing.
Has he ever yelled at you?
He's not yelled at me. No, I've seen him get upset though. It's crazy. It's very rare when it happens, but when he does, the football coach definitely comes out, and you're like, "Holy smokes!" Because he's just this like super amazing, like soft-spoken, nice guy, and I think that's where like the football guys, I couldn't imagine like when he finally gets on you, you feel like you let the world down, because he never gets like that. But I've seen it happen a couple times. But never directly at me.
Well, it's good. He won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different starting quarterbacks. So, I mean, his ability to adapt works well in NASCAR, I would think.
Oh, 100%. I mean, our rules change every other year. The cars change. And, for him to be able to stay on top of his game as an owner for as long as he has, it's pretty unbelievable. Just the amount of things that he's been able to build. And he didn't grow up racing. Like, he'll tell you that. Like, he had no racing background. He went to the drag races and stuff. But other than that, it was just like this dream on a napkin that turned into what it is now with over 400 employees.
I think it's amazing. How did you get started?
So I grew up in a racing family. My dad, my grandpa actually started owning sprint cars, dirt cars in the 70s from Indiana, which is kind of a hotbed for sprint car racing. And, my dad raced for 20 years. And so I grew up going to the racetrack, and then moved to Charlotte literally right after I graduated high school, and slept on a couch for 3.5 years, and we just volunteered all these race shops. And eventually this team owner that was a multi-millionaire thought it was cool that this kid was sleeping on a couch and volunteering, and decided to let me run a race, and it just spiraled from there, and we won the championship. And then I got signed and kind of went through the ladder system in NASCAR.
Wow. Why, being from Indiana, I'm curious of this, why NASCAR and not IndyCar?
For me, I was a diehard Tony Stewart fan. He obviously did Indy as well. But when I was growing up, Tony was super heavy in the NASCAR stuff. And you had Tony Stewart, you had Jeff Gordon, Casey Kane. Like, those were all guys that grew up sprint car racing like I did that went to NASCAR. And for me, I just, outside of the month of May, I never would really have IndyCar, racing on TV. But NASCAR was on every single Sunday. If we were, driving to the sprint car track, the NASCAR was on the radio. So for me, like, NASCAR was always a thing that, like, if you're the top tier, that's where you go. And I love Indianapolis and Indy 500, but for me, my goal was always to make it to NASCAR, just because the guys that I grew up kind of idolizing in racing, that's where they all went.
Would you want to try the double one day?
If I didn't have a wife and kids, I think I probably would. I literally love the month of May. I watch every single practice, everything, but truthfully, I just don't have the desire, especially with a wife and kids. I don't want to risk getting hurt and stuff. And I always tell people I would love to start and park the Indy 500. I want to do the pre-race. I want to do the pace lap. I want to take the green flag and then just lap one, pull it in, just be a fan. I've wrecked at 200, and I have no desire to wreck at 240. Yeah. And those guys, they're pretty incredible at what they do.
Have you ever driven one?
I've never driven one. No.
I'd be so like, I mean, I've been in a stock car, but I it's a rocket ship with wheels.
It was pretty. It was neat. Other guys have done the double, right? Like Kurt Busch and whatnot.
Larson just did it.
Yeah, with Larson just doing it, that was the first person like I've known that actually went and done it. And, I was racing against him while I did it, and to listen to him talk about how similar really it is. It drives very similar to what we do now, and you would think they would be drastically different. But yeah, it was fun to watch him kind of go through that process. And and when IndyCar guys come and hang out with us, it's crazy how much the two cross over.
Yeah, we'll have one more segment with you. That cool? Yeah, we'll hang out with Chase Briscoe, talk a little more racing. Coming up next is Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Jason Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Thursday, continuing with NASCAR driver Chase Briscoe, the Cracker Barrel 400 weekend, a month away out at the Nashville Super Speedway, May 29th through the 31st. Got the Truck Series, got the O'Reilly Series, and Chase, of course, will be driving the number 19 in the Cup Series. Carson Hocevar gets his first win. Ty Gibbs, your teammate, gets his first win a few weeks ago. We're seeing some of these guys finally make it to victory circle. But I asked Christopher Bell this, and I'll ask you the same thing. it took you a minute to find victory lane for the first time. Does that just show you how difficult these things are and how hard it is to win?
Yeah, the Cup Series is a whole nother animal.
Yeah.
I mean, it is just crazy. I mean, when you're going through the O'Reilly Series or the Truck Series, I mean, you're realistically racing, I don't know, 7-8 guys, right?
Yeah.
On a kind of consistent basis. Where when you get to the Cup Series, like all 36 guys have won their entire career and
Yeah.
are just really, really good. Like you can run a perfect race and still struggle to run top 5. Like the Cup Series is just so tight. So, yeah, it's a hard thing to win. And all the guys that, whether it was Hocevar or Ty, texted both of them after and was just like, man, there's nothing like winning your first Cup race. Just the sense of accomplishment you get, because it's hard like to win a Cup race. And just when you lay your head down at night after winning a Cup race, like you've beat the best. And it's a really cool feeling.
Was how popular of a win for Joe Gibbs Racing was Ty, knowing how hard he's worked, all the family stuff,
Yeah.
Losing his dad and everything, going through that. I mean, I have to have a feeling that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool to just be able to be a part of that, right? Like if
Yeah.
I would have been at Stewart Haas Racing, like it would have been cool to see him get his first win, but I wouldn't have got to see the behind the scenes and like the celebration and like just even for Coach like to get to witness it, right? And like Pat came, Coach's wife. I think they've won over 300 races as a company. She's never been to a banner ceremony.
Oh,
like
cool.
she came to Ty's, like just let's see how much it meant to the whole family. It was really, really cool. So yeah, just to be able to be a part of that and to be inside the 4 walls when Ty got his first, it was a really special thing to be a part of.
You go to Texas this week. We asked Chris Bell this last week about simulators and knowing the speedway. How well do you know Texas Speedway? Do you need to get the simulator to know it better? How do you scout this race?
Yeah, so we're running the simulator every single week, no matter where we're going. Some weeks it's normally anywhere from 4 to 6 hours, but like road course next week, I'll run probably 12 plus hours. So it really depends on the racetrack. But Texas is a tough one because we only go there once a year, so it changes a lot. A lot of these tracks we go to twice, sometimes in the spring, sometimes in the fall. But when you're going to these places that you only go to once, and especially at a place like Texas where the summer and the winters are so extreme, like the track just changes drastically. From a surface standpoint, Texas has this huge bump in turns 3 and 4, and it gets bigger every time we go. So it's one of those, I mean, we can guess, right, and expect what we think it's going to be, but until you get there and actually get to run on it, you never really know.
So you just get the 2 laps to qualify, that's it?
We get 20 minutes of practice, and then 2 laps qualifying. And like Texas, I think our minimum speed in turns 3 and 4 is probably like 180, 185.
Ooh.
It's very high commitment. So it's a tough one to go to.
So that by the time you get to the speedway, when the flag drops, you guys take off. I mean, that speedway for them. You got to, right? Know most of it?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely know, like, all the ins and outs just because you've ran so many laps on the simulator. And plus, like, you have experience there. Like, little things change, right? But for the most part, the simulator does it. I mean, they're laser scanned down to the thousandth of an inch. So,
Wow.
I mean, everything is pretty spot on. The craziest thing for me, we ran Mexico City last year for the first time. Nobody had ever been there. I think my fastest lap of the entire weekend was lap 3. And, like, all I'd ran was the simulator up until that point. So that just shows you how dialed in the simulators are now. I mean, literally, when we ran the Chicago street race, for example, every skyscraper that's in the background is there. Every tree that is in the park is there because every driver kind of uses different visual references. So they literally go down to everything. Every crack that's on the racetrack is there in the simulator.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does iRacing do that, or is that something?
No, it's
different?
a completely separate company. It's actually called R Factor.
Okay. But I feel like iRacing is pretty accurate.
iRacing does a really good job. The best way I can explain it is, iRacing, from a track, visual standpoint, it's really, really good. It's almost like 4K, right?
Yeah.
But the track surface itself is probably like 1080p. It's really accurate, but it's not down to the, legitimate scale. Where ours, visually, like, it doesn't look like you're playing on 4K. It looks 1080p-ish, but the surface itself is definitely 4K. Like, it is as close can get. So it's kind of the opposite. iRacing visually looks a little bit better, but our surface is probably better.
Now, when you get in the sim, are you in the full race suit and everything? Or
no, it kind of depends. So we have sims at Joe Gibbs Racing, which is literally like just screens. It doesn't move. You're just sitting there in a chair. And then we have one at Toyota, which is literally a full-blown car. The screen, is 12 foot tall, wraps all the way around you. The thing moves. You're in a full-blown seat, belted in, helmet. It's a little more intense. I won't use that one other than road courses. It just kind of depends on the week.
Very cool. Let me ask you this, Chase. What's the craziest spot you've been recognized?
Craziest spot I've been recognized. Oh gosh, I have no idea.
Bar lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
Yeah, I was shopping with my wife in Nashville last year. We were at some little boutique. I'm not a big boutique guy, obviously.
No.
And some guy was like, "Hey, are you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I never would have thought in a boutique I would get recognized. So that's up there for sure.
Is it now for you kind of like, hey, it's cool, like take a picture or whatever?
Yeah, I think it's super cool. It's crazy to me that I get to do what I do, truthfully. Yeah. And it's been wild just over the last 18 months, really, like going from not the top tier ride to all of a sudden being like a competitor week in and week out, like at the racetrack, especially just the difference in people recognizing me, I guess, and like wanting autographs and stuff. As you run better, more and more people want your stuff, and that's been cool. Like for me to go to the racetrack and see more and more 19 stuff. Where in the past, like there was some 14 stuff there, but it wasn't really like everywhere. Where now with the 19 stuff, Bass Pro certainly helps that. People want to wear Bass Pro shops, but it's been cool to get to experience that.
Is there somebody that's walked to the garage that's looking at your garage that's famous? You're like, holy cow, look at this. Not a starstruck moment, but like, oh man.
So this is funny. Michael Jordan's at the track all the time, right?
Yeah.
I've never got to talk to Michael. I've always not been
Come on,
nervous,
Denny. Denny's got to help you out.
I know
there.
it's just never worked out. But I always tell my wife and stuff, I'm like, I want to know, like, does Michael Jordan know who I am? Like, if he heard my name, he'd be like, oh yeah, this is so and so. And so me and Noah Gregson were doing something the other week, and he's like talking about Michael and how he just goes out and daps him up every week. He showed me this video of like Michael introduced Noah to his wife, and he's like, yeah, Noah drives the 4 car. He's like, I'm telling you, he'll know everything about you. He watches every lap. So last week, or I guess 2 weeks ago, he won the race, and he was walking by our car, and I was like, this is my shot. And I just walked up and was like, hey man, congrats or whatever. And we talked for like, I don't know, a minute maybe, and I was like, holy smokes, like that was Michael Jordan. That's pretty sick.
Did he know who you were?
Yeah, he was like, thanks, man. I mean, I'm assuming he knew who I was.
Right.
So, yeah, it was cool, though.
Oh, that's great.
This is another quick little story. So at that Atlanta race where I finished second, I pushed Michael's car, the 45 Tyler Reddick, to the win. And so in our debrief Monday, they were like, hey, thanks for pushing us to the win. I'm like, hey, no problem. Size 13 shoe. Just like joking. And so the next week, They brought me like 7 pairs of Jordans.
Oh, that's awesome.
Then like 3 weeks later, the guy that runs kind of 2311 texted me randomly. He's like, hey, what size shoe do you wear? And I was like, size 13. And so at the debrief, like this is 4 or 5 weeks after the event, he hands me a box of shoes, and I get out to my truck. I'm like, I bet MJ signed these. He did not sign them. There's just another pair they had forgotten.
Oh, that's
well. I mean, like, are you and Denny tight enough that like he could probably like?
I asked Denny, and he was like, I can assure you that Michael definitely knows who you are.
That's awesome. What's it like having Denny as kind of the veteran guy on the team?
It's been very eye opening to me just to get to. I mean, Denny kind of has, I think, this perception from the outside of kind of how he is, and being on the inside, that guy works so hard. It's unbelievable. It reminds me so much of being teammates with Kevin Harvick, like somebody that's 45, kind of tail end of their career. You would think they'd kind of be checked out to a certain extent, and they're working harder than anybody in the sport. So it's been very eye-opening from that standpoint.
I have, especially so a few years ago in Atlanta, this was probably like 2021, I go down there to cover the race, and they do like, they brought all you guys in to do like some one-on-ones and stuff. Like it was coming on the backside of COVID, and so the access was back, and he was talking about leaving the sport better than he left it, and like trying to do what's right by the drivers and stuff. And I just sat there and listened to him, and I said, I was like, why do you feel like you need to be the one to do that? And he goes, because nobody else is, and I want this to be good for the guys that are here after me. And I ended up doing an interview with him at the awards a little bit later, and I brought that up, and I said, like, I gained so much more respect for you, like hearing you talk about that, because like Denny the driver is a jerk. Like he's just like, he's gonna, he's one of those guys. Like I'd wreck my mother to win. but how much he cares about the sport, I think, is really telling, and he truly does want to leave it better than the way he found it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. From a competitor standpoint, you don't
Yeah,
want to race
no.
against Diddy.
Right.
But outside of that, yeah, he does a ton. I mean, and I think he's in a very unique spot now, right, with owning 2311, where from like even helping the driver standpoint, and you saw that with the lawsuit and like the team owners. I mean, what he did for just coach, like doing that lawsuit, it was a huge thing for all the owners and really the sport in general. I mean, it literally changed the sport.
Yeah.
Before you go, are you wearing Jordans?
Yeah. Well, not today. I normally always wear Jordans. I got Nikes on today.
Yeah.
Okay,
But normally because Michael apparently checks that out. I was a Jordan as a kid. I had Jordans,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
And then the last couple of years, my wife would get mad. I'd wear the same pair of shoes for 3 years. Like,
Right.
I don't care.
I'm the same way.
And then when I went to JGR, I went and bought like 10, 15 pairs of shoes. Now I got like all kinds of different colored Jordans. So yeah, I kind of got suckered into being like all the other guys.
Well, see, I wear size 13 too.
Yeah.
It's not easy to
No,
find
it's hard to find
shoes.
size 13
so it's
shoes.
like you find one you like, you just
you
wear
just
it till it falls apart.
See,
Yeah, so-
look, that was his name is Chase too, right? So
Right,
he's
yeah,
hoping
we're-
that you'll get that.
Yeah.
You'll come back like, oh, Chase, here's that
Yeah, I got some
extra
for you.
extra 13 for it.
Yeah.
Don't fall for it, Chase.
Hey,
Don't.
appreciate the time. Good
thank
luck
you, guys.
at Texas. We'll see you in about a month here in
Yeah,
Nashville.
appreciate it. Yeah,
Chase
thank you.
Briscoe, driver of the 19 car, joining us here on the show. We will have Greg Wyshynski, talk some hockey with him coming up next. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Hour number 3, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Thursday, live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Bar Lines. We talked some NASCAR with Chase Briscoe. Now let's talk some hockey and some NHL Stanley Cup playoffs with our man Greg Wyshynski from ESPN. He joins us now. Greg, how are you?
Good, man. I'm tired. I was in Philly last night for that closeout game, and then watched the Vegas Utah game on the way home. It was a long one on the East Coast, but a fun one.
Dude, look, there's been some good series, no doubt about it, but Vegas Utah keeps captivating me probably the most out of all of them. But before we get to that, you mentioned being in Philly as they defeat Pittsburgh and knock them out. Was that about what you expected with that series, or did you expect a little bit more from the Penguins?
Well, I picked Flyers in 6, so my arm is tired from patting myself on the back. No, I listen. I think that Flyers team was like created in a lab to take out that Penguins team. You know, they're physical, they're fast, they're young, they play good defense, and one of the best defensive teams in the league since the Olympic break. The series really, remember, this was a 3-0 series lead for the Flyers before the Penguins crept back in, and that was because of how physical they played and goading the Penguins into playing that Flyer style of hockey. So it was a really good matchup for Philly. I don't think they're going to have as favorable a matchup against Carolina. I think Carolina will do a lot of things that'll frustrate some of the Flyers' best players. But against Pittsburgh, it was a really strong opening round for them.
And then I mentioned Vegas and Utah. That one goes double overtime. Golden Knights take the series lead 3-2. That's been a heavyweight fight.
It has, but I also think that if there's one theme that's been common in the opening round of these playoffs, and we saw it in the Philly series too, it's young, inexperienced playoff teams finding out how hard it is to close out your opponents. Like Utah had third period leads in both of these last 2 games, blew it both times, lost in overtime both times. Philly let the Penguins climb back in. The Ducks had the Oilers on the ropes. They let them off the ropes. And Buffalo, good example there. They had the chance to eliminate Boston in 5 games. Now it goes back to Boston for game 6. So it's been fun to see different teams in the mix, what with the Florida Panthers and some other teams not being a part of the playoffs this year. But we are seeing that sort of learning curve for young teams where, you can jump on your opponent early and get a lead, but it's a whole different story in trying to close them out.
The question that I've had, Greg, is watching that series because, they'll show Torts behind the bench and he's usually yelling at somebody. If they don't fire Bruce Cassidy and keep him and don't make the switch to Torts with, less than 10 games left, is the picture different? Did it really make much of a difference, or is it hard to tell?
Well, it got them in the playoffs. That's the one thing that they wanted to do, and there was no guarantee they would have gotten there with the way things were trending under Bruce Cassidy. And although it's been inconsistent and by no means should one game be the be-all about the situation, but Carter Hart played really well yesterday. It was maybe his best game of the series. And, Tortorella was bought in for 2 reasons. One, to give this team a kick in the rear, as only John Tortorella can, but also to fix their goaltending because he had a relationship with Carter Hart going back to their days in Philadelphia. Everybody knows why that situation ended in Philly for Carter Hart. He goes and signs with the Vegas Golden Knights, and the hope was that Torts could pull something out of this guy, and at least last night, he was the better goaltender in the game.
Greg, if Buffalo can't close out Boston tomorrow night and they go back to Game 7 in Buffalo, is already the Bruins inside that head in Buffalo because they could have closed it out in Game 5, you could have closed it out in Game 6, and now you're back home in Game 7.
It'd be tough. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is a Boston team that certainly showed their veteran savvy in that Game 5 win, but most importantly had their 2 best players be the best players in the game. Jeremy Swayman got done yelling at all his teammates on the bench and played a really good game between the pipes. And then David Pastrnak wins the game in overtime on a brilliant goal that was just extremely close to being offside, but was onside. Listen, I know there's a sense of it's all gravy for Buffalo because they broke the playoff drought and made the playoffs. That being said, it would be a crushing disappointment to blow this series. They have it in their hands. They're the better team. I think they've, top to bottom, whether it's their depth at forward or, the way their goaltending can play just as well as Swayman can, home ice advantage, all of it. As much as there is a sense of joy and seeing all those fans just partying up there in ways that only Buffalo fans can, I think there'd be a palpable sense of disappointment if they don't capitalize on the team that they have this year and advance past the first round.
Interesting. If the Wild won tonight and they go over and take the series from the Stars, how much credit should John Hines get for what they're doing?
Man, John Hines' name comes up a lot when we talk.
Right.
And I know why. But, no, man, they've played a really stout defensive series against a Dallas team that can certainly crank it up. And listen, Dallas has gotten their points and their goals and stuff, but when you look at the job that they've done on Nico Rantanen, when you look at the job that the Wild have done in front of Jesper Wallstedt, their brilliant young goaltender, a lot of that credit has to go with the system that they're playing under John Hines. That he's been able to kind of get them through some injury concerns as well. So is he the reason they're winning? I don't know. I think the players are probably the reason they're winning, but I think that Hines has sort of set up the team for success. Even if I think the lineup flaws that they have will probably be extremely exploited by the Colorado Avalanche next round if, in fact, they make it that far.
Interesting. Greg, the Nashville Predators search for GM continues. I get asked this all the time. I tell people, look, I have no clue. You do. How much input are you hearing Nick Saban has on this, if any at all? I'm curious at your level.
I'm just hearing the same stuff you are insofar as him being in it, maybe having an advisory role. I don't know if he's in the room where it happens or anything like that. But I will say this, of the candidates that have been mentioned for not only this job but other openings, there's two that really stand out to me. One is Brett Peterson, who was an assistant general manager for the Florida Panthers. I think anybody who spent the last few years learning under Bill Zito in that management structure in Florida deserves to get a shot at running their own team. Sonny Mehta already got that with the New Jersey Devils. I think Peterson's going to be the next one to get it. And then the other name that's really intriguing is Scott White, who's an assistant GM with the Dallas Stars. Again, you want to hire people that are coming from really strong organizations that have learned under really great general managers. I think few general managers in this league are better than Jim Mill, even if his trade for Tyler Myers looks like it might be a bust considering he's a healthy scratch tonight. But Scott's a guy that Scott White's been a guy that hasn't really been mentioned a lot over the years for these jobs because he doesn't really put himself out there. He's not somebody leaking to the media all the time, about why he should get these jobs. And now that his name's in circulation and you see what he's been able to do for Dallas, he'd be a really intriguing option as well.
Greg Wyshynski is with us, presented by Old National Bank. Get old. Tom Fitzgerald is also mentioned as a finalist for the job. Do you think that he truly is a finalist, or since he is the veteran general manager that is available, they're obviously talking to him, but they're very intrigued by the three rising stars as assistant GMs to finally be a GM?
Well, let me put it this way. When somebody like Fitz decides to part ways with an organization and does so knowing that he does have some support in ownership in New Jersey where maybe he could have hung around, it tells me that there might be something, he's in the back of his mind thinking about could be the next step for him or that he's heard could be the next step for him. So I imagine he's in the mix. Personally, I'm in favor of a fresh perspective of a guy that hasn't gotten a shot yet to get a shot. But that's not to say that Fitz it would be a bad hire. I think he did some really good things in New Jersey. I think it kind of got scrambly towards the end as he was trying to figure out how to get this team over the hump and maybe made some decisions I wouldn't have made as general manager. But he knows how to build an organization. He knows how to populate the organization with talented people. And I don't think he'd be a bad hire. It's just that if my options are, new hotness or a retread, I'm going to take new hotness every time.
Do you still see a potential of a president of hockey ops and a GM?
Well, like I said in your show about a month ago, that was what someone told me who went through the process said that they were looking for. I don't know if they've shifted their search because of who's available, or they want a different structure, or maybe they haven't found the right guy to be the top of the pyramid. But it wouldn't shock me to see that kind of setup, even though it seems like around the league, despite there being some success stories with that setup, like Montreal, for example, it does seem like that there's a push now to, just have one guy be the guy to make all these hockey operations decisions. So, no, it wouldn't surprise me based on the intel that we've gotten to see if they go in that direction, but it would be kind of counter to where the league seems to be right now.
So in my crystal ball, I have decided to just try and manifest that the Predators are going to end up doing what the Islanders did. They're going to win the draft lottery. They're going to draft McKenna, and then they're going to trade Brady Martin and 2 firsts, and they're going to get Brady Tkachuk, and they're going to bring him to Nashville and then win the Stanley Cup next year. You good with that? You think that could work?
It's pretty funny to trade Brady Martin for Brady Tkachuk, not only because of the Brady thing, but because of the kind of the way that they play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, that's a very bold vision for the future. I don't know if you've heard, but Brady Tkachuk finds it very offensive when you put that sort of thing into the world about him wanting out of Ottawa. So shame on you for that. But look, I mean, listen.
Look forward to seeing him getting traded at the draft.
Anytime you're looking for a team to transition into the next phase and to rebuild excitement for a franchise, obviously it starts in the draft. So, hopefully the lottery balls bounce the right way for Nashville next week, because that certainly would set them up for some new level of success next season if they can snag one of these high draft picks.
Is all the pressure on Edmonton tonight to stay alive, knowing that McDavid signed the bridge deal and they're facing elimination? I mean, do they have to win this series or at least force Game 7?
It's an interesting question, because I think the X factor in all of this is McDavid's health. He's clearly not 100%. Most of his points, I think, have been scored on special teams. He doesn't have that level of explosiveness that we associate with him. And so the common thought is that he's not 100% right now. So I'm thinking if they go out in the first round, and yeah, it's a huge disappointment because your window to win with this guy is very small. But if they go out in the first round and we found out he's been dealing with something significant injury-wise, then maybe it's a mulligan. Maybe he's just like, okay, I wasn't at 100%. If I'm not at 100%, we're obviously not going to win the cup. So let's just regroup, figure out what went wrong this year, and take another shot at it next year. I mean, he gave them 2 more years for a reason, which is I think he wants to see this thing through. And so I know that it's going to read as it being a gigantic disaster for this team to lose in the first round, but I think there are reasons beyond roster construction and other things for it to be happening this time.
Appreciate it as always, Greg. Going to be some fun series winding down tonight, tomorrow, and maybe the next day. But appreciate it as always. We'll talk next week.
Absolutely, man. Great to do it.
Greg Wyshynski, presented by Old National Bank. Get Old, talking some NHL with him. I got a few thoughts on the GM search to say. Coming up next, we're live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Bar Lines. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Thursday at Bar Lions at the Omni Nashville Hotel. He's Big Joe. I'm Chase McCabe. He's tied up in his
getting attacked by the cord, man. All right, you got thoughts on the GM? Let us have them, buddy.
Yeah, I feel like we got to be close, right? Like, I mean, it wouldn't shock me if it's any time now that they make some sort of announcement of who the next GM is.
But usually for all these things, I don't care what league it is, there's always like, all right, beyond further ado, this guy's pretty much the guy they put in on.
Yeah.
We've heard nothing like that. And I know Greg laughed at the Saban question, but I get asked that all the time.
I think he's involved.
I don't know, but I don't think Nick Saban has just put his name on a list like, hey, all right, call me when you need me.
Right.
I think you'd be, and Haslam said this during the press conference, that basically we'd be dumb not to get his input.
Sure.
Not on line changes or what goalie's playing, but as a front office structure, get his thoughts on what it could be. Because at the end of the day, no matter what league it is, it's all about winning with the right people. And Saban definitely has the credentials for that.
I do think Tom Fitzgerald is involved in some capacity, whether that is, bringing him in as hockey ops president and GM or VP and GM or whatever, or maybe he's the president of hockey operations and then they hire one of these 3 AGMs as the general manager. I could totally see that, but I do think Fitzy is as they call him.
But he hasn't been here
factor in
since 2002.
Yeah, I mean, and he was a player. He wasn't a coach. He wasn't
it's not like he's part of the tree.
No, but he did the connection to he is part of the David Poyle tree because he was AGM under Ray Shiro, who was the AGM under David Poyle. So you can make that connection.
Didn't Fitzgerald give up the pick to Poyle to make the last pick in the draft?
Yeah, Aiden Fink. He sure did. And Aiden Fink actually might be a player.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's kind of funny because he actually spent the end of the year with the Predators. He didn't play, but he practiced. And so there's a chance he could be in the mix for things. But I'm really intrigued about and look, we're going to learn a lot on Tuesday because there's a Waymo coming for you. I was looking for somebody famous. We're going to learn a lot on Tuesday with the draft lottery because, the Predators have a chance to move up. I don't think they will, but they could. But they're 10th right now. If they luck into the first or second overall pick in the draft, that changes things.
Yeah, right.
Because that changes your whole strategy because you're going to get a young player that's going to be able to help you right now.
When is that?
The lottery?
Yeah.
Tuesday,
okay.
So, again, my thing is, wouldn't you have a GM in place before
I would
then?
hope so, yes.
Like, that's kind of my thought. That's why I kind of feel like it could happen soon. Yeah. I don't know that, but it could happen soon.
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
Maybe it's 7:00 on a Tuesday night with the Chad.
Tomorrow.
Chad Brinker.
Maybe Sean, if you're listening, why if you have something to announce, why don't you just call in tomorrow and just tell us?
Yeah. It's not like he's doing it. Hockey season's over, right?
Yeah, just announce it on the Chase and Big Joe
I usually drive by up there and he's out tanning on the back deck at Bridge Arena. He's not doing much. Last week he was on vacation. I mean,
he and Nash were just up there tanning.
He gets all the trash on Tuesdays. He takes care of all that. So I got it scheduled down. He ain't full of nobody.
See, that'd be a funny video to do, like Sean Henry wheeling trash cans outside Bridgestone Arena.
But what's funny? I'm sure he would if he had to.
Oh, I know he would.
Like any good person organization would do that.
But I'm excited about this summer because, you got potentially the 10th overall pick or higher. So you have something that you could do there. And, I mean, Barry's put them in a position to have draft capital and assets that if the new GM wanted to come in here and wheel and deal, like if Brady Tkachuk is available, the Predators could be in a position to go acquire him. And that would change your franchise.
Yes.
Bringing him in. So I think that the sky's the limit there, and that's what makes it exciting. The question is, are all the chips going to fall where they're going to be able to do those things?
I don't know. And I don't know if they're going to be. I mean, they went all in 2 years ago with all the guys, and you saw the return there. So I don't know. I don't think they will, but who knows?
I'm trying to read through. Dustin used voice to text, so I'll have to read that during the break.
Yeah, right.
But, so yeah, just a couple of interesting thoughts on that, and appreciate Greg for joining us. We'll have more coming from the Omni Nashville Hotel here at Bar Lines. It's Chase and Big Joe, 105 The Game. Chase Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Thursday. We're almost to Friday. Can't wait. At the Omni Nashville Hotel at Bar Lines. We've had a stacked and packed show there, JoJo.
We have. Your Braves got beat today by the Tigers 5-2. Detroit avoided the sweep down in the Truist Park. Braves now 22-10 on the season. Still have a 6.5 game lead over the Marlins in the Analyst.
Yeah.
A little baseball. See, I'm getting to get on you and Dr.
Proud of
Crane's
you.
good side. I'm getting a little baseball now.
I will say this. Went to the Sounds game last night and with the girlfriend and a couple of friends, and I was weirdly like into the game. Like I just like it was a very tight game, low scoring game.
Right.
And so I was like very much locked in, and the Sounds ended up winning on a walk-off homer. So that was really cool to see.
You're like, yeah, man.
Well, I was standing in the outfield, and there was a guy that was like really into it, like went running and excited when they walked it off.
Where were your seat? Were you in the outfield?
We had walked over to the bandbox, but no,
Okay.
we were on the third baseline.
Did you have your little glove with you last night?
I did not have my glove with me last
Proud
night.
of you.
Yeah.
See, you've evolved. I like that. There was a discussion the other day on Robbie and Rex about the Milwaukee Admirals wanting to win the Calder. Is that the Calder
Yeah.
Cup, And I'm thinking, all right, yeah, it's good to win, but I mean, it's like the Sounds, like the players in the Sounds. I know you want to win, but your ultimate goal is not to win the minor league baseball championship, right?
Well, I
get it.
Well,
But
I don't know.
get
Okay,
on it.
now it's interesting that you bring that up because you're one of those people that, like, you hate to lose more than anything.
Yeah.
And I think that should apply at any level. Like,
Yep.
yes, you are in AAA, and you're one step away from where you actually want to get to in the major leagues. But, two things for both the Admirals and the Sounds. I mean, more than half of those guys are never going to get there.
True.
Like, this is the highest they're going to go. The ones that do get there, obviously that's going to be their goal. But I think your goal is always to win, no matter what level you're at.
Well, my thing is, I go back to years ago when I was working in TV. I was going to interview a guy for the Sounds. It was like 2 home runs away from breaking the all-time home run record for the National Sounds. And he says to me, I don't want to do the story. I go, oh, man, it's a great story. He's like, I don't want to be remembered as the guy that held the all-time home run record for the Sounds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. It's not like that.
So what'd you do?
We didn't do it. Didn't do the story. When he broke the record or came close, like, hey, he's 2 away or 3 away from getting the record. And that's what we talked about. Otherwise, it wasn't no big deal on those things. And it's like, I remember talking to Don Money one time, the former Sounds manager,
Yeah.
who said being a AAA manager is the hardest job in the world. I'm like, oh, you're around baseball. How is it hard? He's like, half the team shouldn't be here. They should be in AA. Half the team thinks they should be in Milwaukee.
Yep.
So you got to bring those guys together to win. He goes, now it's more about developing the player, making sure they're good. When they do get the call up, they're good to go. And I was like, that's a
really good.
fine
I mean,
line.
yeah, that's a really good point because it's like you have to wade through that of like, okay, who actually should be in the majors,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and like telling someone like that has all the talent, you're like, you're gonna get there. You're not ready.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, so-and-so went 0 for 5 last night. He's batting 186 over the last 10 games. I should be up there. And I guess you get your opportunity, It's just a fine line, man, of, you leave here, you're traveling on a bus, AAA. If you go to the major leagues, you're on chartered jets. You get steaks and whatever you want on the plane. It's just, but you got to earn your way there. That's never really truly given to you.
Yeah, it's an interesting discussion. It's funny too, like when you see a guy that like gets called up, has the rookie bump, then the league doesn't know him. He's hitting like 400 right out of the gate, and then all of a sudden pitchers figure him out and figure out he can't hit a curveball, and then you just see that, boom, and then
he's
back
done.
to AAA.
I remember 1987, I was working at Kroger in Bell Forge before I went off to football at Sanford. I was a courtesy clerk. We'd load bags,
Yeah,
and all the Sounds players lived out there. And I became really good friends with a guy named Chris Sabo.
yeah,
And I'm like, man, he'd give me tickets to go to the Sounds games. And that team in 87 was pretty cool because
is that Reds affiliate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had Sabo on there. You had, I think, Randy Myers might have been, Rob Dibble was on that team.
Yeah,
Jack Armstrong. I mean, they were great. And he's like, yeah, one day I'll get there. Like, yeah, I hope you do one day. Like the next year, he's Rookie of the Year in the National League.
That's right. They were originally a Reds affiliate when they started as AA, and then they were AAA.
Yeah.
So that's when they were AAA,
Yes.
I think. Chris Sabo, that's awesome.
And you get the call up. It was amazing. And one guy we wanted to come here that skipped Nashville from Chattanooga to the Reds, and it was Reggie. What was his name? He's a great center fielder, but he skipped Nashville and went straight there.
Oh, yeah.
I forget his name.
It was funny. So the baseball coach at FRA when I was there, the late, great George Weicker, was on the first Sounds team.
He was.
And which was AA of the Reds. And he played, I think, that 1 year and then retired and got into coaching and everything. And I asked him one time, I was like, why'd you coach? And he goes, well, I was playing in the late 70s for the Reds organization. And I go, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, right? You're never going to get there.
He was like, and I forgot where his main position. Basically, every position he was decent at was like Pete Rose, like everybody that he never had a chance.
Joe Morgan.
Yeah, like he never had a chance.
Concepcion, all those guys like that.
So he was just kind of like, I think I'll go into coaching.
So with the Sabo thing, I was like, I'd never would ever put like, all right, you'll make it, because he's like, I'll make it there one day, and you're like, damn right you'll make it there one day, and he got it done.
I think my favorite part about, and we need to get Jeff Him on soon and
Jeff
talk some
Him!
baseball. My favorite part about going to a Sounds game is I always look at the lineup for the visiting team, like, all right, is there a washed up guy like that I recognize? And 9 times out of 10, it's like, holy cow, that guy, I remember him.
Every time I always do that when you go over there, just to say, oh yeah, he's on a rehab assignment, or this
Yeah,
guy's
the Sounds had, like, Jackson Churio was on a rehab assignment. They had a few guys on rehab assignment. In fact, they have they got still 3 guys on rehab assignment with them that'll play tonight. One pitcher, Quinn Priester, is on rehab assignment, and then Andrew Vaughn and Jackson Churio. So you can see a couple of those guys.
The Priester, love that guy, man. Tell you what, man, love that guy, man.
Tell you what, mate. And it's a doubleheader
tonight.
Yep, 2 7-inning games. So.
Is it Thirsty Thursday or
Throwback Thursday?
Throwback Thursday.
Yep, sure is.
I don't think they do Thirsty Thursday anymore, but
no, penny beer night or nickel beer night or whatever.
Right.
I do remember back, like, right around when I turned 21, they still did like dollar beer night or something at Greer Stadium, and that was fun. And that beer tasted terrible.
Of course it did.
But it was great.
Then you get to go to the bathroom with the trough to use the bathroom.
Those are even better.
Pass. I'll just pee in my pants. I'm not going there.
Coming up next, well, gross.
Right?
We'll do What Day Is It? And celebrity birthdays. Chase and Big Joe on this Thursday, 105 The Game. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Thursday at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Bar Lines, wrapping things up. A quick Titans note, they have made this official. They have exercised the fifth-year option on left guard Peter Skoronski.
Good.
So, not a surprise there. So he'll play on the fifth-year option this year, and hopefully then get a extension done with him in the near future.
Yeah. I mean, he's played his way into being a really good NFL player, and he can only get better. So that's a good signing for them.
Yeah. So good stuff there by them. Let's get to what day is it and celebrity birthdays.
Okay, first on the list we have, not these socks, don't want those. Adopt a Shelter Pet Day is today. Bugs Bunny Day is today. Okay, a little cartoon action. Day of a Child Day, so there you go. Hairstyle Appreciation Day. International Jazz Day.
Yeah.
National Animal Advocacy Day. There you go. National Bubble Tea Day. Still against that. National Honesty Day is today. Wow, there's a lot of good stuff on here. National Military Brats Day, National Raisins Day. Let's see. We'll get to that here in a minute. National Oatmeal Cookie Day, National Mr. Potato Head Day, National Prepare-a-thon Day, and Thank You Thursday. And to wrap it up, Spank It Out Day is today. So that is
what?
That's what it says. Spank Out Day is what today is for Thursday.
It's a family show, Nick.
Well, I'm just reading the list. The guy to blame is the one to your left, Joedubin.
I didn't send you that. Don't you bring me into this firing.
I didn't know about this list until you did.
What? I don't tell you to
I'm
read
joking.
that day.
I'm joking, Joe. You're okay.
Good Lord.
Learn some self-censorship.
Good man. Oh, my goodness.
Oh. Okay.
Nick,
well,
my 7-year-old, 6-year-old, and 4-year-old listen to this show.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Time for celebrity birthdays. It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah.
Here we go. Dr. Crane, you can go first today, all right? For celebrity birthdays?
Sure.
First birthday is, how old is Michael Jordan's best friend, Isaiah Thomas?
67.
65.
65, exactly. And they're not best friends. Chaser, how old's Michael Waltrip?
Man, that's crazy. His birthday's today and Dale's was yesterday. Michael is 61.
60.
63. Chase up 3-0. Dr. Crane, how old is David Meggett? Played for the Giants. Punt returner. Great player.
I'll go with 59.
64.
60.
Good
Now
job, Dr.
3-1. Chaser, how old's Elliott Sadler?
A lot of NASCAR birthdays. I'm going to say Elliott is 53.
54.
51. Chase up 4-1. Dr. Crane, how old is Willie Nelson today?
Oh, he's got to be up there. Willie Nelson, let's go 94.
90.
93.
Oh, good job.
4-2 Chase. Chase, how old is Johnny Galecki? He was from Roseanne, The Big Bang Theory, one of the vacation movies. He owns a restaurant here in town, too, I think.
Look, Russ, can't see the lines. He is 51.
53.
51 exactly, 6-2. How old is Dr. Crane? Kirsten Dunst. She played Mary Jane in
Spider-Man. She was in was she in Hocus Pocus? No, she was in one of those like movies as a kid. But anyway, go ahead, Dr. Crane.
That's okay. 52.
50.
She is 44.
Okay.
How old is Travis Scott? Chase.
38.
35.
35 exactly. It's now 6-4. Here we go. Lightning round, folks. Chase, you go first. How old is basically Robert Reynolds of the Mavericks? I don't think he's in the Mavericks anymore, but he was in the Mavericks. He's married to Trisha Yearwood.
64.
60.
64 exactly. 8-4, Chaser. Dr. Crane, how old is rapper Turbo B of snap.
I'm going to go with 53.
57.
59. Chase is up now 9-4. Chaser, how old is singer Akon?
He is 44.
40 on the dot.
53. Dr. Grant, how old is rapper Lloyd Banks?
61.
47.
44. Chase, how old is actor Perry King? He was in the TV show Riptide.
81.
83.
78. You're so close. One more. Dr. Grant, how old is she's from Canada but lives here in Nashville, country singer Carolyn Dawn Johnson?
43.
Not Don Johnson. Carolyn Don Johnson.
Carolyn Dawn Johnson.
71.
55. With that being said, Chase wins 9-4. Dr. Crane, come on, man.
9-5. I got that last one there.
Oh, did you?
I did.
What'd you say?
54.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5.
And I only joke, by the way, Joe.
Huh?
Yeah, we know.
Thank you.
Okay.
That is going to do it for us here today. Thank you to the Omni and Bar Lines for having us, as always.
As always, our message out there to our guys, if you are struggling, listen, we are on your side. We love you. We support you. We know that some days the road is bumpy, the sky is dark, but listen, clear skies ahead, perfect roads ahead if you just keep going. You cannot stop. Don't ever quit. If you quit, you know what's going to happen. You're not going to attain your goals. So keep going forward. Know that we're here for you. If you need us, reach out anytime. We think you are doing awesome. Please know that you're doing awesome. And every time that somebody thinks about you in this world, they smile. You got that going for you. Never forget that. Know how much we love you. And more importantly, more than anything else in the world, guys, please know how much God loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll DVD coming your way next here on 102.5 The Game.